all good to go. Then we're all good to go. Here we go. Okay, we are broadcasting on YouTube live for those. I'm not sure what they're watching on YouTube. It's just queuing up right now, redirecting. Here we go. All right, should be good. And
Okay.
then we're all good to
Yep.
go. All right, now we're good to go. Now I can hit the record button and let's get going. Here we go. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekend review intro to trading. It is Sunday, March the 29th, 2026. So we head into the next week here tomorrow morning. And just as a reminder, of course, don't forget, of course, we have our questions box. You'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. Again, I am the only one that sees that, so you are free to say whatever you want. And I'll try and answer your questions here tonight. That's kind of the idea. Da, 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 da. Okay. Comments are coming in already here. Okay, Rick, welcome, Rick. I'm new, not doing good. I've been here for a week. Okay. Larry's asking. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll get to the questions later, but is Eagle Financial the owner of DayTrade Spy, now owned by a Trump family-controlled company? I don't know what to tell you, Larry. Okay, there is some sort of a link, yes, with I believe Donald Trump Jr. and his wife. But they do not control Eagle. Eagle is controlled by Salem Communications holding company. They own a bunch of radio stations and a bunch of other stuff. All right, so they own Eagle, which owns DayTrade Spy. Okay, so that is the link, and there is some sort of a connection, I believe. I'm not sure if it's, I think Salem is one that partnered with one of the Trump companies. So anyway, all right, I am going to give you this disclaimer and give you a second here to read this, to go over this. Make sure. Funny that you found that, Larry. That was actually news about a year ago. And funny thing is, I predicted that Salem stock is going to skyrocket, and it did, but then it fell back quite a bit too. So anyway. I knew I should have gotten into that. Should have. I got a few shouldas. I'll tell you about some shouldas earlier this week that I wanted to do, and I never got around to doing it. I was too busy narrating Spy Trading Room. Anyway, folks, you alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. And all that said, good trading, everybody, right? Okay, here's what I'm going to talk about here tonight. Take a look at last week, the upcoming week. We got a 2-minute tutorial for you. You can answer your questions. And got a little contest for you here tonight, and the winner is going to get an ebook. The ebook is entitled Triumphs and Tragedies, and I think you're going to kind of enjoy it. All right. That's what we're going to do here tonight. My name is Hugh. How do you do? I'll tell you who I am. I am a trader, professional trader. That's what I do now. Professional, by that I mean I teach people how to trade. I trade myself. Okay. I do not work for anybody else. I used to work. I had a few jobs. I did everything from, I don't know, parking lot attendant when I was 18 years old uh, for a local amusement park. What else did I do? I had a job, so I had a bunch of jobs. Internal audit for a major insurance company. I had a lot of stuff. Anyway, business and ventures and different things that I'd gone into. But with each one, I learned a few things along the way. And yes, even radio broadcasting. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Angie. And what happened was, you learn a few things. It's funny. I'm going to tell you something. All right, a couple things. First of all, um, we've been doing this publicly, teaching people how to day trade options in the trading room and publicly actually since 2010. So we are in our 16th year, and coming up in May, we'll start our 17th year. And as far as we know, we have the longest running trading room. All right. But most of what I teach here, I learned from deep in the trenches, the hardcore stuff, the stuff that really matters. You can get all the theory from a lot of different places, but it's that the stuff that really matters. That's what we teach. A lot of the mental issues, psychology of trading, that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of nuances that we teach that we learn from all the mistakes I had made. And my goodness, probably nobody here online has made more mistakes than me. So, but that's the nature of the beast. I've been doing this for a very long time. been trading long before 2010 when I've been teaching, started teaching people. But when I started making some money and bringing home, some pretty good profits, people started asking, Hugh, can you show me what you're doing and show me how you're doing this? And I didn't really want to. I rejected it at first. No, no, no. I don't want to get into all that. I don't want to get into all that. Um, I only wanted to. I just wanted to do it for myself. But I started. Well, I kind of broke down. Yeah, some friends. Okay, I'll show you. I'll just show you. Anyway, showed a few people. Before I knew it, they were bringing all their friends and their friends and neighbors and everybody else. Before I knew it, we were doing this, in a big way, and it just mushroomed, just ballooned straight up. Mm. Part of my, Pardon me while I take the occasional drink here. I've been talking most of the day here, so anyway, things are going pretty good, and of course we expanded, and it's in 2020 that Eagle Financial Products took notice and bought us out. Made me an offer I couldn't refuse, but then they hired me back. Life's pretty good. So, and we still continue doing it, still continue teaching people. Then they brought on John Johnson. He is my cohort in the trading room. John Johnson, nice guy, litigation lawyer turned options trader. By the way, I look for short-term breakout trades. That's kind of what I do. Get a little bit of a profit with each trade. Do that a few times a day, and take home some pretty good cash, right? John uses highly effective tools to determine his trades. He's got a philosophy: take what the market gives you. Loves to teach others how to trade as well, as do I. And so John comes with his set of tools, and I come with my set of tools. Completely different sets of tools that we use. And when we have the same consensus on which way we believe the market is going to go, we have a saying that says something like, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. Okay. And no truer words have been said. No truer words have been said. So I think that's really important. Okay. So when we say I think the trade's going to go down, you might want to buy some put options, right? Put options. So anybody who's new on, let me know. If you don't know what puts are and calls, we're going to talk about puts and calls. These are options. Options have names. Okay. If you believe the market is going to go up, you buy a call option. If you believe the market is going to go down, you buy a put option. And as these markets go in those respective directions, the value of those options should increase, all things being equal. I have to say that, all things being equal, because that's a lot rides on what we call the Greeks, things like volatility and theta loss and different things like that. But anyway, between John and myself, we've been doing pretty good here. And we've had our ups and downs, no question about it. We've had some challenges last several weeks. We certainly have. So I got to tell you, my voice is echoing. Is it still echoing, Herbert? If it is echoing, I'm not hearing any echo on my end. Um, if it's echoing now, let me know if my voice is echoing. Okay. Maybe turn off your audio sources. You might have two audio sources, whether it's looping back from the website, from the live YouTube feed, and you're watching it live on this feed that I'm giving you here. Obviously, you seem to have two feeds coming. I'm not familiar that it echoing from anybody else. People are chiming in. No echo here. No echo on this side. Okay, so something on your end here, Herbert, and you might want to just check your audio. Just turn one of them off. Okay, or lower it down. Anyway, together we do some pretty good trades, and we also have an e-newsletter that goes out every Thursday. You might want to get on this one. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Brief 3-minute read, light, relevant, entertaining. This week's topic is going to be Day Trade Spy, a beacon of light in the pall of the blight. Beacon of light in the pall of blight. And you know what? To subscribe to this newsletter, all you have to do is go to our website, daytradespy.com. And when the pop-up comes up, just leave us your email address and we'll get that to you. Okay, we'll get you on the list. We will get you on that list. Now, if you don't want to be on that list, but you still want a newsletters, very easy. Just go to our website, daytradespy.com. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, where did I go? Let me see if I can find it here. And then Go to our website and I'll show you how to access it. Day Trade Spy. Here it is right here. Okay. Where did I go? Hang on. I've got two monitors, and sometimes they're not. Okay, here we go. Here you go. So if you want to go to our website right up here at the top left where it says Spy in the Market, that is the name of the newsletter, Spy in the Market. Just click on that newsletters, and you'll see them all listed here. And we go back pretty well to day one. I think there's something like 130 of them already. So we've got quite a few over here. Okay. These are actually pretty cool. All right. They're pretty good. So I think you'll really enjoy them. I know several people who actually, it's pretty funny. They, um, they print them off and they keep them in a binder. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. They keep them in a binder, refer back to them from time to time, and I guess they enjoy reading them. So it's not a long read, and it's actually pretty entertaining. So go ahead and grab them. Anyway, Spy on the Market. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on here. So this is a look at the week in review. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. As you can see, it was quite a wild week. Last Sunday, we dipped down here in pre-market. Monday morning, we shot up because there was some de-escalation in the Middle East conflict that caused oil prices to fall. Eased inflation fears. SPY shot up a whopping 23 points before tapering off, closed a little bit down, and then it bounced around in pre-market here. Tuesday headline news still dominates every day with the continued war. Tempered the previous rally based on hope for a ceasefire. Didn't quite come 100%. Working on it. They're working on it. SPY traded range bound most of Tuesday there. Closed only slightly higher, pushed up a little bit. We did get into a double top, technical pattern. Optimism was replaced by uncertainty in the Middle East peace talks. Trump claimed progress, but the Iranians denied any talks. Donald who? Donald who? No, we're not talking to Donald. Nope, nope, not us. On Thursday, SPY lost a lot of confidence. Traders, investors lost confidence in the market. They started selling off. SPY fell 1.7%. The Nasdaq entered its correction territory, which I believe is 10% off the highs in February. And the escalating Iranian war tensions, oil prices surged. Still a lot of um, military activity in the Strait of Hormuz. Preventing ships from going through. So it's putting a real curb on oil supply. Had a little bit of a bounce up here in pre-market on Friday, but that was it. We hit a little resistance up around that 650, and then things just tanked, and we plunged from about, say, 650 down to 632. 18-point plunge that day before that was all over. We've seen lows here not since early August of last year. Wrap up trading with the fifth consecutive losing week. Oil surged to over $110 a barrel, marking the worst week since the war started. Okay. That's what that looked like. Looking at the seasonal charts, this here is a seasonal chart. The blue line is where SPY is now. The red line is a composite of the last 5 years closing price. And you can see here that if I expand it into and focus down into it, that historically SPY remained about the same over the last week and actually dropped about 1 point the following week. If the markets continue the way they do, I'm not really sure where we're going to go with this. All right, so I am looking here at that. And I'm looking to see something here. Okay, let's talk about what is moving the markets here last week. All right, what's moving the markets. Geopolitical tensions, and energy. These are the two words. Volatility remains high. Markets are concerned about the longer lasting energy shock. That's what it is. Higher oil and gas prices, right, set to push headline inflation back to 3.5%, probably delaying the Fed's progress, trying to get inflation back down to 2%. That's their target. They never did reach it. They've been working on it, couldn't get it. And now it looks like inflation is going to go back up. Feds were actually talking last week. They had their meeting. They're actually talking about raising the rates again. Fortunately, they didn't do that yet. So we'll see what happens. That probably would be very bad news because Trump has been trying. He's been trying to get Fed Chair Powell to decrease rates for the longest time, and to raise the rates now would be really. I don't know what Trump would do if that was the case. Anyway, growth outlook remains resilient, but it could be a rough go. All right. It's not going to be very stable, not going to be very smooth. Feds may be forced to raise hikes as raise rates as they balance growth to the labor market. Swings in oil prices have been driving equity and bond markets. And let me correct this typo. Should be prices. Okay, there we go. All right. And pressures at the pump. Average gas across the U.S. is now almost $4 a gallon, up from $2.80 just over in January. So we're up quite a bit here, right? Almost 50%. Here's what the markets looked like last week. The S&P 500 dropped another 2.1% year to date. And it's only the end of March. We're down 7%. Dow Jones down 6% and the Nasdaq down almost 10%. Not surprising with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is the higher volatility exchange, right? Because we got all the heavyweights there, being the tech stocks. They're overvalued. They're the high capitalized stocks, right? Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, those guys. The Magnificent Seven. And what you see there is those are the first that are going to be pinged, right? With any downturn. So, and they're definitely going to lead you know the the herd to the exits. So, but they'll also be the first to come back up if and when, or I shouldn't say if, but when the market does reverse. And folks, it will reverse. Rest assured, it always does. All right, the week ahead, Monday, you got Fed Chair Powell speaking. Um, is not going to be, now I'm not sure what he's going to be talking about. He is not going to be talking about anything sort of really pressing with interest rates that I know of. He's going to be participating in a moderated discussion at Harvard University in Massachusetts, addressing audience questions. So we'll see what happens there. But again, it's probably, the market does pay attention to whenever he speaks. You can expect increased, elevated volatility. And by the way, that is going to be at what time is that going to be? I think it's in the morning. I want to say at 10 o'clock in the morning. Let me just check that just to make sure because as we are trading, it'll be at 10:30, 10:30 Eastern time tomorrow morning. It'll be at Harvard. Okay. We also have other Fed members speaking this week here. Fed member Williams will be speaking tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Then we have others during the week, but that'll be the important one. Anyway, should not probably affect the our day trading trading room tomorrow much. Maybe in the latter part of the trading room it might. Tuesday we got JOLTS job openings, Chicago PMI, Conference Board Consumer Conference, Consumer Confidence, I think is what I really meant to say. Consumer Confidence. Let me go back and fix that. Confidence, not conference. Confidence. Yeah, you got some confidence. There we go. Okay, right. And on Wednesday, we got ADP, non-farm employment change, retail sales, and ISM, Institute for Supply Management, PMI report. Okay, let me get a thing in here. I thought we had this thing proofed, but I guess not enough. Thursday, unemployment claims, and Friday, the markets are closed. It is Good Friday, long weekend. And so that's going to be a short week. We have a short week trading. Don't forget, markets are closed Good Friday, so you don't want to get into any trades that you may want to, regret. You don't want to hold on anything over the weekend, long weekend. Not a good idea because theta loss will eat you like a cancer, fast-moving cancer on the weekend. Especially if volatility is a little crazy. All right. Volatility ahead, the way I figure it's going to be high Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, medium on Thursday, And again, the markets are closed. Whenever Trump speaks, I have nothing on the schedule for him right now, but that tends to come up pretty quickly. Usually, with a few hours from the time he's scheduled to speak, they put it on the calendar. Um, and usually he's been speaking around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so shouldn't affect the markets too much. But whenever he does speak, whenever he does speak, the markets tend to get a little more volatile. So just be careful and you watch for that. Okay. All right. So we're gonna be it's gonna be some pretty active trading this week. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here. We've got a 2 minute tutorial for you. And I'm going to ask you the question because what the tutorial goes by is going to be depend on what you put in. I can talk for a couple minutes. I want you to tell me what is your primary concern? Is it making money, keeping it, emotional control, or controlling your losses? Let me know. Then I'm going to click on one of these and I'm going to actually flip to that one and we'll discuss that for a couple of minutes. You want to do that? So meanwhile, I'm going to wait until the questions box is populated with by which one do you want? Making money, keeping it, emotional control, or controlling your losses. While you are doing that, I am going to just take a look at a few of these questions and see what we can get caught up on these things so I don't keep you here much past 9 o'clock. All right, got a comment here from John H. Trump made the comment at one of the rambling speeches. I like to surround myself with losers. It makes me feel better about myself. Really? Now we know why we have. Never mind. I don't want to get into that one. Oh, come on, guys. All right. Da, da, da. Rick W. New, Rick M. I'm new here, not doing good. Been in for a week. We got to turn that around, Rick. Got to turn that around. Okay. 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 Da, da, da. Okay, Ralph, I've used your system going back many years, and it's worked. 94% win rate for me for over a few hundred trades. But you hit that number we used to repair, and they could be pretty significant losses. I know you've done close to 90% win rate, but what is the average drawdown and losses on losing trades? I've been changing my formula on that a little bit here, Ralph. I'm trying not to average in too much. It's been a very good, very hard challenge for the last several. I had some pretty significant losses the last little while. So what I'm doing is trying to uh, focus more on that direction, go for smaller gains. We'll talk about that in a little bit, and and cut losses earlier on if need be. So, but we'll talk about that in a little bit here. What's your gut feeling about SPY's direction? More downside or a rally once Iran war ends? Well, I'll tell you, once the war in Iran ends, this thing is going to shoot back up, and you'll find that we're probably going to well, it depends how fast oil comes down, okay? But I think once oil stabilizes again, and goes back down, I think you're going to see the market go up pretty good, like pretty quickly. Probably pretty much as quickly as it came down. All right. So now the question is, will the war in Iran end soon? That's the question. That is the question. Now I know Trump gave them a week. I think he extended a little bit. They're supposedly working on some kind of a peace treaty. That's what Trump says. Iran says, we're not talking to anybody, and the war goes on. So who do you believe, right? Who do you believe? And what happens? So, and that's the nature of war. A lot of mistruths are disseminated, and of course, the stock market reacts to what it hears. So, all right, let me see. Okay, we'll get into this. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, we'll talk about we'll talk about some of the challenges here. James invested 10,000 back in the beginning of the year, made 1,800 the first 2 weeks. OTO is very happy. Since then, I've been doing terrible, and I'm down only $250 in my account. Ooh, not too good. Not you're doing. I did some really stupid things. I'm trying to decide if I want to invest more. All right, we'll talk about that, James. Okay, it sounds to me like you guys are talking about controlling losses. Da, da, da. Okay. Track your trades, making money, keeping gains, making money, keeping it. Do you have a year-to-date performance spreadsheet on the pick of the day? Um, we have something we track, but it changes. I'm not sure. We don't have anything publicly that we display on that. Controlling losses, controlling. Okay, a lot of controlling losses. Looks like you're all over the place. Okay, making money, emotional control. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of veer off the script here, and I'm going to instead of clicking on one of these, let's just take a couple minutes or something, or a minute or so, and just talk about each one. You want to do that? You okay with that? Might get into 10, not 9, 10 or something. Didn't want to keep you more than an hour, but let's talk about each one because it's all over the place. All right, the first one, we're going to go into making money. Okay, making money. Find the strategy that best suits your style, your funding, your temperament, your ability to watch the market. So I think the first thing is the way we trade. Okay, now, let me step back a bit. I'm not saying that my system works for everybody. It works for me great. And when I started using it, people started asking me how I'm doing it, and I told them I make money in the morning as soon as the market opens. That's when I find the market moves the best for me. Now, I remember being in other groups. I would do that, and they would say, "Oh, that's amateur hour. That's amateur." Oh, so what does that mean? Because that's when I was making my money. Is there something wrong with amateur hour? I used to laugh at them. But you guys go ahead and do whatever you want. But you're struggling with making money after 11 o'clock. And many of you would lose money and we'd be here till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, guess what? I want to make my money, get in, get out, get on with the rest of my day, right? Get in, make money, get out, and then get on with the rest of my day. I tend to speak too fast. I say that so fast. Sorry. Okay. I guess my mind is just racing. All right. So now, really, the idea here is for you to find the best strategy for you. Now, some people like to swing trade, other people like to, position trade. Some people like to watch different stocks, ETFs. I was, I don't have it up here. Let me see. Maybe I could pull it up. Oh my gosh. I am so saddened that I did not do this one trade that I was looking at a week ago. And let me see if I can find it here. This is an old trade that I had done years ago, back in 2005, I believe. I made a fortune on Exxon. Um, I made a fort. First of all, I started with a Hershey trade. Hershey, back in those days, went up quite a bit. February the 6th for 2 weeks. I doubled my money in a month. I think I started with about $5,000, $6,000. I put it all in Exxon options, and I made a ton of money. I made about a quarter million. I took all that from about 6,000 to about a quarter million in about 3 weeks with an Exxon trade. And what happened was, let me just pull this up here. Um, I love to replicate that, but I never did go back and replicate it. It's not like it does it all, every year. And I looked at the Hershey trade this year, and I could have made a fortune on Hershey again. I know that for years Hershey was not performed, but this year it did. Of course, you never know when it's actually going to happen. Now, I want to look at this trade here. I'm going to just remove this here. Okay, get rid of this guy here. Well, we can leave that up. Exxon. Wow. Oh, God. I sure wish I had done what I wanted to do a week ago. And I remember talking to a buddy of mine about that. So I got to get out of Hershey this year. I know a week ago. I know I guess I'm. What am I? What do I want to do this? I'm lamenting here. What it was about a week ago. Um, yeah, I want to say last Sunday when last weekend. I guess it was last weekend. So anyway, Exxon was down around $60, $61. And I said to one of my buddy, I said, Monday morning, I got to buy some Exxon options, longer out, leaps further out in strike price, right? Now, I don't know whether he did it or not, um, whether Gerard did it or not, but let me see what those options would have been. I remember talking to him a long time ago on those. That would have been the probably the 160, probably let's say the 161 options for and that would have been further out. So QQQ 2604. It seems to me it was like near the end of April. End of April. I forgot which ones they were now, but I remember the end of April was the ones I was kind of looking at. So it would have been April the 30th. April the 30th calls. And what would that have been? The 160, 161s? I know this has nothing to do with SPY, okay? However, and let's take a look here where the option would have gone. Time frame, time frame, time frame. I saw this earlier today and I just about tried 5 days, I don't know, 30 days. It won't be the 1 minute chart, probably 5 minute chart, something like this. Let's see if this will work. Why are we not going further out here? Time frame. Hang on, bear with me here. It would have been a 5 day. Okay, why? Let's take a look at this strike price. Oh, not Q. Sorry, XOM. That's it. Okay, XOM 430. Is that right? 430, 430. Bear with me here, folks. Bear with me here. No, May the 1st. Probably May the 1st. May the 1st, call options. Would it be, say, the 161s? Can't find the symbol. Yes, you can. XOM. Okay, this is what I'm trying to do is pull up the option, the option chain. Okay, the chart of the option. Come on, I wonder if it's because we are we're off the market time here daily. I don't know if that'll work. The option chain. Why I cannot find the symbol? 161 XOM call option for May the 1st. May the 1st, right? Let's try it one more time. Okay, time frame. Intraday, 10 days, 1 minute chart. Will this work? It's not pulling up. Okay. What I saw a couple days ago was that I could have made, um, well, if I bought it even like a couple days before, easily 5, 6 times my money on this particular option. I'm trying to see why I'm not able to pull it up here. Can't even pull up a 1 minute chart. Okay. Wow. Really? 175? How about if we can, okay, here we go. 175. That's right. It was a long out option. That's why. That's why. Okay, I forgot what the strike price was. That's right, because that's right. That the strike price, I didn't have the right strike price. Let's take a look at something here, folks. Let's just pull this up here. Okay, let's go back. 1 minute, 5 day. Yeah, that should work. 1 minute, 5 day. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. 5 days ago. What would have happened here 5 days ago? Which would have been right here, March the 23rd. Had I bought this here, right around here, March the 23rd, 24th, that was the 23rd was the Monday. But about this Monday, I'm looking at this chart on the left. This is actually a chart of the option itself. If I'd have bought the 175, which was a far out option, right? It was like, $15 out. It would have been cheap. Actually, I think it's even cheaper. Let's take a look at, could have been even a $200 call option. I'm not really sure. Or was it the 190s I was looking at? 190s. Let's take a look at the 190s. Maybe we can get this here. It's just pulling it up here, waiting for the data. There we go. Okay, well, you could have got this here for as low as 50 cents back here on March the 23rd. 50 cents, it hit a high of $1.35. But that other one that I just had, $1.75, that was down to $1.30 back here on the 23rd, $1.30 for a low and a high of 5.35 on on the 27th, which is Friday. And there were some really cheap ones as well. Let me see, what were the $1.80s? Do I have a number on the $1.80s? Dollars. You can see what's happening because of the oil situation, right? The supply is cut off. All right. Demand is still high. No resolution in sight. These oil companies, believe it or not, they make actually a lot of money on these things. The value of their option, of their stock goes up. And as it went up here, even looking here, what happened on Friday before market from $1.65, $1.66 up to $1.75, right? So there's like a $10 rise in the option itself. And we're talking here from the 27th from 284 to 351. There's some pretty good there's some pretty good moves on Exxon. Anyway, that's I don't not sure how I got into that, but that's one of the things I was looking at. So the strategy, what I'm doing now, of course, is just trading SPY, day trading options on SPY, because nobody knows where the market is going to go. I mean, had I known it was going to go like that, obviously would have invested in it, but it would have been a bit of a, it would have been a gamble, just a gamble, right? I'm trying to minimize the effects of gambling and just do as much sure trading as I can. Now it's not always the sure thing anymore, but find the strategy. So by day trading options in the S&P 500, we can generally get a pretty good idea as to where it's going to go. Find that strategy that works and tweak it as possible if you need to tweak it, but stay with it. Just tweak it. Get better at it. Get laser focused on your strategy, right? And and then continue working it and tweaking it. All right, don't keep changing things. Let me just see here. Somebody's asking about a trading plan. I want to see if I can just pull in a trading plan. Okay, hang on. Is this the one I'm looking for? Da, 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 da. Hang on a second here. I want to make sure that I want to have the right one here. This is it. This is it here. Okay, talk about a trading plan. I'll talk about that a little bit here. But anyway, prepare your spreadsheet goals to guide and protect you. We'll use this as a trading plan. All right, let's say you start with say $1,500, right? And let's say you want to make 5%. You only want to make $75 a day. Well, they'll bring you up to 2175. Put your net proceeds up here. You got your yield to date balance. The next day, make your 75. This way you plan out and change it as need be, right? As you grow your trading career, right? You will grow your budgeted gains along with it. All right. And I mean, I try and keep it as simple as possible. I don't need to put up all this information that's not relevant. I just put what's relevant. But I think one of the more relevant things with this plan is the notes. And this this column here where I put the colors, okay? I put the notes in here because what I see, and I like to keep notes. Um, was it an easy trade? Was the market very cooperative? Was I at one with the market? Did I find challenges? Did I get greedy? Did I lose control of my trade? Was I not feeling well? What, you know, and if you keep these notes and then go back later and assess how you did, learn from your mistakes, you tend not to make them, the idea is to not to make the mistakes again, right? But here's one of the cool things I like about this trade, about this format. Um, if I have an exceptional trade or an exceptional day, I'll put a green bar, just a little green bar here. Okay, just color coded. If I have some challenging trades, I'll put yellow. And if I have, say, a losing trade, I'll put green. I'll put red. Okay, I'll put a red bar here. Now, I found that before the red bars, I usually have a series of yellow. Okay, and if I have a series of yellow, that should warn me that be careful because something's not going right. Whether the market is changing, there's some craziness going on, volatility is too high. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe I'm losing my my mojo with it. There's something going on. Be careful. Maybe even pull back a little bit until you get back better at it. Right? Go back into paper trading. Don't be afraid to paper trade because usually when you get a red, it doesn't just come out of the blue. You'll find that I had a series of yellows. Now, as a pilot, I have a lot of references to the aviation world that I like to pull out. And you'll see accidents. I don't know if you ever follow YouTube accidents, aviation accidents, or incidents. You'll find that usually as an accident, there isn't going to be any one thing that has caused the accident. Usually, it's a series of things that have gone wrong. As an example, a week ago, the Air Canada Jazz commuter plane smashed into a fire truck in New Jersey on the runway. A series of things went wrong. Let me see. The weather was bad. It was misty. Um, Pilots couldn't really see. They were relying on air traffic control to guide them in. And when you are cleared to land, you effectively own that runway. That's your runway. Okay. There should be nothing on the runway. All right. That went wrong. So they couldn't see it. They seen the fire truck there, would have, gone around and, hey, something's, that's not a good place to land. But they didn't see it until the last minute. They had no choice but to brake. Of course, the runway was wet. They probably slid. The fire truck had no transponder. The fire truck probably with his radio, maybe it was in a frequency, he didn't hear it when the air traffic controller was yelling, stop, 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 truck one, stop, stop, stop. Didn't hear it or didn't respond. Didn't see the plane coming down the runway. He was running to another incident that happened with another plane. So a whole series of things. They even say that there were only two controllers in the control tower, when maybe there should have been probably four. The night shift only had two. So I mean, and they're maybe overloaded. Who knows? But there's a whole series of things that went wrong, and any one of them could probably have prevented the accident from happening. Both pilots died. Passengers, I won't say they walked away, but they lived. And dozens went to the hospital, and some are still there. But anyway, the point is, when you see a bunch of yellow blocks like this, be careful. You're heading into some turbulent water, and you don't want to get into the red where you're now falling over the falls. Okay, so be careful of that. So I'd like to use that as part of my trading plan. All right, getting back to this, making money. Prepare your spreadsheet goals to guide and protect you. And you know what? Paper trade until you're comfortable transitioning to real money. There's no shame in paper trading. I know we want to make real money, and you're not going to make real money as a paper trade, right? But get very comfortable with the system, with the market, feel good about what you're doing. Pay attention to the emotions. I know there's no such thing as paper trading because once you put real money into it, everything changes, right? It's all different. But try and get in that point where, okay, if I just continue doing what I'm doing, making money paper trading, if I just use real money now, I should be fine. Invest small amounts at first, following your spreadsheet plan. Only expand that as you increase your account size. All right, and increase your account size a lot before you invest more money. Okay, and don't deviate from your plan. It's very easy. That's making money. All right, the next one up is keeping your money. Now, I find that a lot of people can make money, but not that many can keep it. That's where the real challenge comes in. Establish your trading plan spreadsheet. I know it's a pain, right? It's a pain. Who wants to do paperwork? Seriously, we just want to trade. We don't do the spreadsheet stuff. That's for beginners. Well, guess what? I still do spreadsheets. You surprised at that? I mean, yeah, that's how I can go back and analyze my trades, right? And I keep notes. I'll look at my spreadsheet. Now, I don't do it at the time. I'll go back, right? At the end of the day, I'll go back and at the end of my session, I'll go back and fill out my spreadsheets. But I want to see, and I want to learn to master my emotions. And why did I trade? Why did I jump into that so early? What was compelling me that I had to be in a trade? What is it, the Monday morning blues where, oh my gosh, I haven't traded now for 2.5 days. I got to get into a trade. It's an addiction. I mean, it is an addiction. It is an addiction. Follow our rules of engagement with entering and exiting positions. So if you are part of the day trade group, you'll know how we trade. If you're in the trading room, you'll understand what we do. Follow those rules and then enter when the situation presents itself and exit when the situation presents itself. Call on your discipline and stop trading when you hit your goals. I love seeing those comments in the trading room that pop up that say, I made my goal today, I'm stopping trading. I think that's like it's amazing. Whoever writes those, they're disciplined, and their goal could be $2,000 a day. They hit the goal, they know when to stop, because you'll often find this that last trade you do, that third or fourth or fifth trade, you got to get back in because here's what happens when you have a good trade, right? The euphoria is there. Get into another one, another good trade, another one, another one. You're on a roll, right? Another one until you hit that trade where, oh, the market's not going up anymore. Now it's going down. Now what? Oh my gosh. I'm giving back all the money I made all day. I should have stopped while I was ahead. I hit my goal. Why did I keep going? You ever ask yourself that question? Well, I gotta tell you, it happens a lot more than you know. Review your trades on a regular basis and and update your spreadsheet as you hit key milestones. Let's say that spreadsheet I showed you, the daily goal is $75, starting with 1,500. Well, when you hit a target, let's just pull this up. This is a sample, okay? It's a sample. Let's say you hit your target. Now you're trading instead of 1,500, you're trading $3,000. Well, increase your budget again to $150 then. You don't have to keep trading 75. All I'm saying is update your spreadsheet. Keep it as a dynamic kind of a spreadsheet. And here's a key thing. Withdraw some money along the way. Withdraw, say every month, take a little bit out. Get in the habit of taking money out of your trading account, putting it back into your bank account where it belongs. Use it, right? Take your husband and wife out for the weekend, do something crazy with it, buy something you wouldn't normally buy. Um, and get in the habit of withdrawing some money, deposit the rest, because eventually that 1,500 that you started out with is going to turn into like $65,000, and you're going to be trading and making 32.50, per day or gain or whatever, and you're going to hit 100,000. And you can do it. People have done it. I've done it. I mean, this is the way it goes. All right. Next up here, I'm excited that the 2-minute tutorial is turning into like 20. Okay. Emotional control, folks. Practice control in other areas of life. For example, pick your battles. I know that, we want to, oh, I'm always right, or, whatever. If your kids or your husband or wife, irritates you or something, don't get engaged. Don't engage. Whatever goes on, whatever. Say don't, learn how to be patient, patient, and mm, and you have to be patient while I have a drink here. Learn to be patient and and disciplined in other areas of your life, and then it'll be a little easier on the trading platform, right? Except that you don't have to be in a trade all the time. This is very difficult for me. I always thought, oh my God, the market's open and I got to be in a trade. I must be in a trade or else I'm losing. I'm losing opportunity cost. Very real. It's okay because you know what? There's another trade right around the corner. When you go back at the end of the day and look at those charts, you'll see all the opportunities you had to get into trades and make money. Many opportunities. So if you miss one, it's okay. Not a problem. Follow strict entry and exit rules. As a matter of fact, um, I like to tell people you should have actually two exits. One being your profit target, and the other one when you're and we'll talk about this in a minute, when you're in a losing spot. At some point you got to say, that's it. I'm going to throw in the towel and be done with it. When the setup presents itself, then enter with confidence. Be confident. Don't just wishy-washy. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't, because then what happens? Time goes by, and you tend to enter at a high price. Have you ever done that? Price of an option is $2 and you want to get into it. Well, you hum and haw and hum and haw. By the time you finally get it, you're paying 230 for it. And then it hits 235 and then it reverses. And then you sell it for a buck and a half. Has that ever happened to you? Oh, yeah, I know. Hold the trade until your goal is met or the conditions change. As I mentioned, it's a dynamic kind of a thing. Things are always changing. You are not obliged to hold it till the, you know, till your deathbed. Okay, options are not buy and hold strategies. Conditions change. If news hit, if a condition changed that doesn't meet your goal anymore, maybe it's time to dump the sucker. Maybe it's not doing you any favors, right? Take what the market gives you. When the winds change, it's okay. I know we shoot for 6% on some of our trades. Well, guess what? If it's pushing up into that 5% and it's hitting that resistance and bouncing off and bouncing off about, you know what? Take the 5%, be happy with it. Because it may take the break and go higher, and it's done this many times. But you know what? It can also reverse, right? If it keeps bouncing off that resistance, at some point it's either going to break to the upside or it's going to bounce and go back down. And sometimes there's a saying, there's a valid saying, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That's what that means. Sometimes take 3%. If the volatility isn't that great, not that much movement, sometimes there are going to be days you only get 3 or 4% instead of 6. Controlling losses, this is another one that came up a lot here. Use that color coding on your trading plan to express exceptional, challenging, and bad trades, okay? Use those color codes. I'm just using this as an example, because I follow that. When I see a lot of yellow shaping up, and okay, something's going on now. Market volatility is just crazy. Right now, headline news is driving markets. Headline news. And it's harder to trade headline news because what happens is, when regular economic news presents itself, it's fairly easy to trade that. You can make money on that because you know what's going to happen. It's all about interest rates. If there's a threat to interest rates, the markets go up. Markets don't like high interest rates. But now with headline news coming out, it's a lot more harder, right? It's difficult. So we have to really anticipate trying to get in behind the scenes on that. What's going on with oil? Martin Trump says, "Oh, the war is going to be over in a couple of days." Oh, yeah, right, sure it is. Meanwhile, Iran, you hear from Iran. Try and get your news from different sources too. Don't just go to one source. Right? That's what we do. We draw from many different sources when we come up with our monitoring thing here. Monitor your trading plan. Learn from your missteps upon entering a trade. Again, have two conditions: your exit and your profit. Right. Um, and expect losses. They are part of trading. Any trader who claims they never lose, they are lying to you. And consider after loss what you have left, not what you lost, and you work with it. I've had traders in the past say, "Oh my gosh, I lost, $5,000." So my first question is, "Do you have anything left?" "Yeah, I still got 15,000 left." "Okay, we're going to work with the 15. Don't worry about the five that you lost. It's water under the bridge. We're going to work very carefully with the 15. Before you know it's going to be 15 and a half, 16, 17, 17 and a half. It'll be 18, and we're going to work it back up. You'll get your 5,000 back. Don't worry about trying to make the 5,000 back in the next trade. Not going to happen, probably. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. All right. Not all those trades were like that Exxon trade I told you about back in 2005 that I had done. Return to paper trading until you are at one with the market again, then resume with real money. All right. I mean, that's just what you got to do. Okay. All right, let's move along here because I'm kind of running out of time here. And then our trades this week, we had 6 wins Monday, 2 wins, 1 loss on Tuesday, 5 wins, 2 losses Wednesday, 3 wins on Thursday, 8 wins on Friday. So what does that give us here? Let me add that up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 16, 24 wins, 3 losses. I won't say it was a great week. Um, Not one of our best, but we try and get more wins than losses, and of course, it's been a struggle. So we have this 2026 goal. This is where we track all the trades in the trading room, and we record it as if you're only buying 5 contracts per trade, and all the trading room trades are included in this. Okay, here's what the spreadsheet looks like. Year to date since early January, we'd be up 46.85. We're up a little bit higher a couple weeks ago. We had some bad trades here, folks. Not gonna kid you, those red trades are losing trades, but we had some pretty good trades too. Brought it back up to 46.85. We hope to turn this baby ramp that up and get some really good trades in the next little while and hopefully get over the top 10,000 soon. So that's the way it is right now at the end of March. But it's been a struggle with the war. And that's exactly why, we need to stick together and learn all we can. That's the nice thing about being part of Day Trade Spy. This is a learn and earn program, and we've got actionable plans, all right, for you. Solid gold ones. Now, by the way, I'm going to have these um, QR codes up here even at the end of the session. So if you miss these, don't worry about it. But if you want to get in on these, just get these QR codes and subscribe. Now, I want to tell you what's important about these things, like the inner circle. We scour the markets. We scour the news, the Twitter or Twitter, what do they call it, X now, the various news feeds to bring you what we perceive as where the market is going to go today. All right. Nobody knows where it's going to be a year from now, 6 months from now. I love these pundits that declare, that think they know where it's going to go, but nobody really knows, right? Everybody gives their best estimates, but nobody really knows anything for sure. We don't even know where it's going to go the rest of the week, but we got a pretty good idea where it's going to go the rest of the day today. And this is what we do. Every morning, we send you into your inbox. You don't have to go looking for it. It's in your inbox just after 9 o'clock, our morning market analysis. Very good. Morning market analysis. Okay. It goes into your inbox. We also send you a follow-up report. The morning market analysis gives you a pretty good idea where the markets are and support resistance numbers, all kinds of cool things. All right. John, my buddy John writes that one. All right. We also have our Wednesday night interactive meetups. These are recorded for later review. Any questions you have at all, whether it's chart patterns, thinkorswim setup, whether what markets are going to go, Fibonacci, pitchfork, support resistance questions. This is your chance to ask the questions from John Johnson. All right, the professional trader who's going to give you. I mean, this stuff. Oh my gosh, if you were to buy his services or my services, you'd be paying a lot more than what you pay for the inner circle. Trust me on that one. $2.99 a year, only, oh my gosh, less than a coffee and a bagel a day. In fact, probably about a coffee and a bagel a week. Okay. Let us do the heavy lifting. Concise, informative, everything you need in one report. And these follow-up reports are pretty cool too. It tells you what we actually did. All right, the inner circle. Everybody should be on the inner circle for the price. It is nothing, nothing, nothing. Folks, the people ask us, well, do you have an alert program? Yes, we do. Actually, we have two of them. One is the Day Trade Spy Signal. This is delivered to your cell phone as a text message as well as your email. Ideal for those maybe unable to watch the markets or sit in front of a computer at 9:30 Eastern Time. It's delivered 3 to 5 times a week, algorithm based. All right, it's not like somebody's sitting there watching it and triggering it. This is algo based and it's sent to you. And the idea here is to buy it immediately and immediately put it for sale for a 5% profit target. Walk away and come back, collect your money. If it is not sold by the end of the day, sell it at the market at the end of the day. Now, do they all make money? Not every day is going to be a winner, but these trades are designed to have time with them, so it's never going to go to zero, that's for sure. Well, nothing is for sure, but it's never happened before. But anyway, it's been very effective. Generally winners. Once in a while, you do get a loser, but if you just follow this over the long course of the time, the time period, you should be quite a bit ahead of the game. 3.99 a quarter or 14.95 a year. All right, which is the same as the pick of the day. Now this is a little bit different. John and I get together every morning, and we hammer out where we see, sort of manually doing the same thing. By the way, the day trade spy signal can come at any time in the morning. So if you're driving the kids to school or on your way to work or to a job site or something like that, you got your cell phone with you, your cell triggers that, oh, there's a trade, pull over, pull up your trading platform, make the trade, get in, get out, right? This is a little bit different. The pick of the day is designed to be purchased right at market open. Right at market open, immediately put up for sale for a 6% gain. Again, if it's not sold by 4 o'clock, sell it at the market close. 3.99 a quarter, 14.95 a year. And this is also a program that works very well. Usually in the first few minutes, we get our 6% gain. Our best, though, is the trading room. We promote the trading room hosted by John and myself. We are pro traders. We know what we're talking about. Combined, we have over 45 years. I think it's closer to 50 years combined trading experience. And I would venture to say 50 years because I know I've been trading a lot longer than the time than from just 2010, and so is John, right? It doesn't matter what's the difference, 45, 50 years. We know what we're talking about. We've gone through all the ups and the downs. We've gone through the recessions. We've pretty well seen everything the market's going to throw at us. Not always easy, okay, but we kind of weather the storms, and these are interactive sessions, the trading room. This is where you're going to learn and earn. Fully narrated. This is where the strategies come alive, okay? Daily, every morning, 9:20 to 10:30. These are events. That's not a drop-in center where anybody who's in front of a microphone takes control. Not at all. It's not an open mic session. These are also recorded for later review. John and I narrate everything that we do. Okay, and you're going to learn. You should learn quite a bit from these sessions. Now, you might not always understand everything, especially at the beginning as you first get into it, because things do go pretty fast. We go through at the speed of the market, and unfortunately, we can't slow that down, but you will pick it up, and you're going to be pretty good with what's going on. Okay, you're going to pretty quickly understand what to listen for, what to watch, and everything else. When things are slow, we also talk about other things. Okay, so it's not like there's a lot of nothing going on, and oh my gosh, I'm bored to tears. I'm going to fall asleep. Not at all. Very exciting. The time goes by very quickly. We also have fun. Every Thursday we have a contest where we determine who's we're going to see where's SPY going to close at the end of the day. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. Join the trading room, folks. All right. This is where it all comes together. This is where you're going to learn everything you need to learn. Now, here's the beauty of it. All of our programs offer a 30-day money back guarantee. I mean, who else does that? So get in, learn all you can. If you really don't like it, if it's not for you, just call them up. All right. They'll give you your money back. No big deal. I'm going to do a poll here, folks. All right. Now it's time for a poll. If Day Trade Spy was to host a webinar about our famous scalping strategy through the war, how much would you pay to attend? I want to see what you would put down there. Up to, let's see, 50 to $100, up to 150. What would you pay? Up to 200, 250, or more than 25? No, not 25. It should be more than 250. No, 251. That's it. I just want to know here. It's a survey we're taking here because watch for a special announcement for Thursday, April the 16th. But I do want to hear what you are willing to pay for a course such as this. And I'm going to be taking this information back to them. And I understand that if we don't get the numbers, if it doesn't make sense, it's not going to happen, right? It has to make sense. All right. I really want to hear from all of you folks. All right. If you have an answer to this, come on, give us your number. If we were to host this webinar about our famous scalping, the scalping strategy, excuse me, is one of our famous strategies. This is where we're going in for a few cents, quickly in and out several times a day. Make a few bucks, all right? Go and say buy, well, it depends on how many contracts you want to buy. Let's say you want to buy 10 contracts. You make a dime, right? You make a dime in a couple of minutes, you just made $100. And then do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. You do this 5 times, you walk away with $500. Well, less commissions, right? So we just want to get an idea here. Okay. Okay. I'm just assembling the numbers here. Okay, let me just get some numbers down. A is up to 100. B is up to 150. C is up to 200. D is up to 250. E is greater than 251. Okay, let me get the numbers out. Let's see. B, C, B. Lots of B's, lots of C's. Uh, okay. Is there a meal included? Oh yeah. Yeah, sure, David. You'll get a meal. Let's see, $200. Let's see. Okay, see. Larry, 99 Canadian. Oh my gosh. What's that, $30? I don't know. Well, I can I can tell you the last time we did this, I think it was a couple years ago. The results were incredible. We didn't realize. So we actually did, I think, 3 trades, 3 or 4 trades when we last did a scalping strategy. And it was so funny because I'd be doing the trade. I didn't realize that people were doing it along with us. And then afterwards, they would chime in and say how much money they made. Real money, because they're just following us. So it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so really quite enjoyed it. Okay, all right. So Eagle is probably going to be sending out some marketing material at some point. All right, get ready for it. And I want you to go back here for a second. Note the special announcement for Thursday, the 16th of April. Okay. I believe there is going to be, some a webinar scheduled for that day. All right. You want to put that aside, and it's going to be very exciting. So we'll give you more information as we see it. All right, let's get back to some questions. Questions. Okay. Let me see what's going to happen. Oh my gosh, so many questions here. Let me just flip through here. 908. I hope not to keep you guys too long. I know I say this every week, don't I? But we just seen the stretch. There's just so much to talk about. I don't know what to tell you here. Um, okay, so you want a past performance on the spreadsheet on the pick of the day. I don't have that handy. We do track those things, but we don't publicly display it. There's all kinds of tracking that they do here. So, uh, okay. It's interesting. You can bet Trump is going to be painting lipstick on the pig before markets open Monday morning. Uh, Oil futures now near 103. Equity futures down around 0.75%. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Here's the thing that it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen, tomorrow morning based on anything. I mean, right now, let's take a look and see what's going on in the futures here. Futures are down, oh my gosh, S&P futures are down 38 and a half. Nasdaq is down 164 and a half. The Dow's down 287. We'll see. This can change, folks, by tomorrow morning. That can be completely different, right? You don't know, right? All right, question here. Okay. Okay. Last week you mentioned the trade of the day, which I believe is a SPY option trade to place at about 9:35. That would have been the pick of the day, right? Then there's a different program where you open your trading room, I guess on a Zoom call. Yes, everything we do is on Zoom calls, right? Can you explain that better? I thought you said there are not any trade recommendations in this program. So the teaching. Okay, so our trading program. Okay, maybe I'm a little confusing here. So so subscription for the pick of the day is a completely separate subscription from the trading room, as it is from the Day Trade Spy signal, as it is from the inner circle. So a lot of people are in the inner circle, which is $2.99 a year, which is nothing, and they get this information every morning. Okay, now there's no picks in that information. It just tells you where the market is expected to go that day. Now the signal is sent to your cell phone and email sometime in the morning, 3 to 5 times a week. All right. Now the pick of the day is an emailed um, particular option that is sent to your email just after 9 o'clock. It is designed to be purchased right at the market open. So if it's say a put option, when the market opens and you see pressure on the 1 minute chart going down, buy the option right then and there. Okay. If at market open, the market pressure is to the upside, wait until you see some red candles back to the downside, then buy it. You'll get it for a cheaper price. Okay. That's the pick of the day. Now, the trading room, that's again a separate subscription where we get in and we teach you what we do, and we also execute some trades in the trading room. Okay. We do execute those trades. We do not discuss the pick of the day in the trading room until after the fact. In other words, we don't want to compromise those subscribers to the pick of the day or the trading room. Because you get the trading room does not mean you get the pick of the day. Those are separate subscriptions, okay? And but the trading room is more of a teaching venue, and we do execute trades, real and simulated trades in there. We use our real trading accounts. I know in the past, my trading personally has suffered because I'm narrating. So when I'm paying attention to narrating a trade for everybody, and I'm not paying attention to my own trades tend to suffer a little bit. So I remember probably about a month or so ago, the market shot up, and I was actually up about $1 in my options in real. But I neglected to actually execute the sell order on those things because I had been busy talking about the other trades in the trading room. And then, of course, the market reverse came back down. I still made, I don't know, 15 cents or something, but oh, I was so mad at myself. I said, I should have just stopped, guys, hit the sell button. Okay, now I go. But anyway, it is what it is, right? Anyway, so yes, and everything is on Zoom. So you get to see our screens. Everything you see in the trading room, you don't get to see us. All right. You probably don't want to see me first thing in the morning or John. Uh, it's we just like to get up early, and I often take my shower after the trade room. So anyway, you're not burdened by seeing us. The focus is not us. The focus is on the trades, right? That's what the focus is. So, but yes, everything is on Zoom, and there is trading in the trading room. All right, Friday the markets are closed. Okay. Okay, so apparently I'm hearing that the negotiations are good today. They're being reasonable. There could be an end of the war today. I'm looking at this Exxon trade again. I wonder, Should I buy a bunch of options far out time-wise, far out strike price, and just five times my money in one day? Can I do that? Should I do that? Of course, sometimes I think that then there's going to be an end to the war, and there goes my money, right? So it's uh, it's it's tough. But there's another question here. Has anyone noticed that when a photo of Trump is pasted next to a quote, photo's 20 years old? It's funny, John. I noticed that. Yeah, it's kind of an old picture, isn't it? Trump looks a little stressed. I would say he's aging, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, so here's a good comment here from Lauren. Thank you very much for that. I've been in the trading with you for several months, been part of the recent losses. We've had some losses, no question about it. It'd be helpful if you could tell us the next day after your personal review of your trades what you might have done differently. That way we can all learn too. That's a good point, Lauren. Thank you very much for that. Um, and also that, what is the exciting news to share? The exciting news is, and I wanted to share more of it, but I've been told I'm not really allowed to say much more because it hasn't been released yet. But not August, what I'm talking about, let's go back to that date. April the 16th, I'm going to tell you now, April the 16th, I believe somewhere around 11:30 in the morning, we are going to, at least we are scheduled to host tentatively uh, scalping workshop. A nice scalping workshop where we are going to show you everything we do with a scalp, setups, exits, everything. We're going to, the idea is to execute trades and you can execute trades along with us, hopefully make some money here. And, um, and yeah, show you how it's done. It's going to be recorded. I believe it's going to be recorded. And it is going to be recorded, but I believe you're going to get the recording. And again, I don't want to be quoted on this because nothing is for sure. They're going to be sending out marketing materials, so it depends on, I guess, we're going to see. I probably said too much already. I'll probably hear about it from the guys tomorrow. Ah, you weren't supposed to say that. I'll say, come on. We're talking 2 weeks, all right? So watch for your marketing material on this and really get in on it, okay? Get in on it. But I will say this much. All right. If the numbers aren't there, it's not going to be a go. So I'm just telling you, get in. If you're on the fence, jump off the fence, get in on it. You're never going to learn if you don't get into it. All right. So what else? What other questions can I get into here? Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Our win rate for the O. Okay. So our win rate for the OMG has been, I want to say, somewhere around 88, 89% or something lately is our win rate for some of these. It's been very good. Yeah, I would even go up to the 90%. We've been doing very good with actually the OMG though. Here's the thing with the OMG we've been doing. Sometimes we actually, the goal is to get 6%. But sometimes when we see that it's going to be a challenge to get that extra point, we might just cut it off and take the 5%, and not go because we do that in the trading room. The OMG, which is short for out of the morning gate, we actually do that in the trading room. Okay, so it's really important to know that. So, folks, I just looked at the time. It's 9:17. Um, Pick a number between 1 and 100, and I'm going to pull up our random number generator, our day trade spy number generator, and the winner gets the ebook Triumphs and Tragedies. I'm going to pull this up right now. So pull up, give me the numbers in your questions box. I'm going to give you another 20 seconds to do that, and then we're going to wrap this up here, folks. Kept you kept you handcuffed already. Okay. Let me see. Another 10 seconds here. Just pick a number, any number, doesn't matter. And I'm going to just shake it up a little bit here. I'm going to shake it up, okay? Okay, shake it up here. Okay, let me just shake it up. Okay, let me see if I can get this right here. Okay. All right, now I'm going to pull it up the number generator. Here we go. Oh, this is it right here. You got your number. We're closing it off right now. Okay, the last person is going to be Richard P. Richard P. Okay. All right, no more after Richard P. There we go. Now, this is not the number. All right, I'm going to hit the button here, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the number is 61. 61. The person closest to, or 61 gets it. If there's a tie, you both get the ebook. 61. Okay. 57 for Arnold. Let me see. Arnold. 57. Let me see. So he's 4 off. 61. Let me see. Who else do we have? 61. Oh, Matthew D. Same thing here, right? Matthew D. 57 there as well. Uh, okay, we have two winners. We have two winners. You will both get the ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies. One is going to be Arnold P. Let me get the last name here. And Matthew. Matthew, let me get the name here so that I have it. Okay. Okay. All right. With that, we got ourselves the winners. They came within four. Congratulations. Thank you for playing along with us on that. And that is it. Thanks for joining us. Folks, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next Sunday night. Thanks for tuning in.
Trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can